Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Weekly Tall Talk. I am your host today, and my name is Corey Andre. I'm so glad that you are joining us today. We have another very special episode, and if you are new to the Weekly Tall Talk, every episode we set it up with a topic that usually starts with a would you rather, or we set up a short story that sets up to the topic for the episode. But before we can get into that, I have two other guests joining me. You know them, you know their names, but I'm going to reintroduce them anyways. Our first man of the hour is Xavier Chapman. How are you doing, brother?
Good. Thank you for that introduction. Hopefully everybody can hear me somewhat okay. Having mic issues tonight on my end. But yeah, I'm doing good. I think I'm starting to come down with a little cold. I don't know.
Come on, man.
It's nothing new, right?
No, absolutely nothing new.
No, it's the blessings of Nurgle.
Absolutely. He likes to bless this house quite a bit because I have a little nurgling of a daughter.
Yes.
No, but I'm doing good, guys. Cale, how about you?
I'm good. Earlier showed the cat. That's been dominating my time between the podcast, this and basketball starting up. But things are good. We got tacos tonight. And gave me the energy and the sustenance to rock this. Just ready to get into the conversation. But how are you doing, Corey?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I saw the aforementioned kitty you spoke of, Jolene. We'll definitely have to post her on our Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
She is just a little cutie, a little orange tabby or something.
Super cute.
Little mix.
Something.
Yeah.
Half demon.
But I'm doing great. I spent most of the day cleaning my 5,000 square foot mansion. So that was really fun.
That is
I did it all by hand. Yeah, no maids this time.
No maids.
I even took a little nap, you know?
Damn.
Nice.
Productive all the way around.
I'm living pretty large.
Large and in charge.
But I got to forget all of that because we got a show to do. And I got a question for you guys.
We're ready.
So, would you rather be luckless or uncharismatic?
Oh,
yeah,
that's an interesting one.
I think we can have a little bit of fun with this one because they're being luckless and being uncharismatic are not unquantifiable, but hard to kind of get a grasp on.
Right.
So I think we'll have fun exploring these topics.
It's both like a perception of what the word means to you.
Being luckless.
Exactly. And I'm the world master, so it's what the world means to me.
Ah, perfect.
Now, Cale, you seem to want to talk about this, so let's go with you. Would you rather be luckless or would you rather be uncharismatic?
Honestly, dude, I was thinking about this, and I feel like I want to be uncharismatic and have the little bit of luck that I can have. I want to harness it.
Really?
I'm going that route.
Yeah. Senior milquetoast.
Oh yeah. But
if it weren't for your height, you wouldn't stick out in a crowd.
Exactly. I wanted to play the other side of the coin today and not have any charisma. And I'm hoping that, like, by choosing this, I have a lot of luck. Because you're giving up charisma, which I mean can make life easier, but not being luckless sounds scarier to me than being uncharismatic. So I definitely think, like,
why does it sound scary?
I mean, whenever I say, like, oh, lucky this didn't happen, lucky that didn't happen, like, luckily that semi coming down the freeway missed me. If I'm not lucky, it hit me. I don't know.
But what if it only grazed you?
That's true. And now I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
I have a story to tell. I feel
you
like
got a payout coming.
I feel like luck can be in a much more broader range of situations than being charismatic. I feel like charismatic can obviously carry you through a lot of things, but I feel like luck could apply to every facet of your life. I'm not sure charisma can factor into everything that you do. It just seems like a broader, for me, luck being lucky or not being luckless seems more beneficial in the long run. Maybe not. But just off the top of my head, it makes it seem like there could be more situations that could go in my favor by having luck on my side versus just having charisma.
Here's the thing is you just have your regular luck anyways. Like whatever you have now is you don't get like a boost. You don't get a decline. Whatever stats you rolled at birth, that's what they are. You're just also now uncharismatic.
I'm going to go change my answer.
It's
yeah. No, I've locked in.
It's a curse, not a gift.
I thought I would be more lucky. So that's not the case at all. I didn't research this at all. It didn't show us. Perfect. Great.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Yes, that would have been a good disclaimer to have on there.
See, I thought you were just leaning into the bit of being uncharismatic.
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, that's my affliction. I stand by it, and I've embraced it.
Well, we're gonna move on.
Wish
then.
I should have known that. I'm going to read the fine print next time. Always read the fine print.
We have notes.
Not good. I always just assume I have super strength or super power, and it never is the case. No. And I'm just like, this is why I'm the luckiest man alive. And you're like, no, not at all.
No, it's just, you're just you.
I love my delusions of grandeur is showing.
Always want to be Superman.
Take the target off my back, for God's sake. Xavier, say something. Get me out of here.
Let's hop him in, help him out.
Okay. So the question was, would I rather be luckless or uncharismatic, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather go luckless, I think, on this one.
You would.
Dang, okay.
You would.
Okay. I'll go luckless.
He definitely would.
And I would choose the charismatic. I mean, well, I don't know if I am charismatic. I'm probably not.
Corey, did you know that Xavier's a fisherman? He's fishing for these compliments right now.
Wow. Yeah, hook, line, and sinker.
You got me. Deep sea fishing.
It's like, there's that compliment.
Reel them in, boys. Reel them in. There we go. I got a nibble.
There it is. One for the pocket.
Yep. Damn it.
No, yeah.
Think about that when I'm going to bed.
I'll do the So I'll go luckless on this one. I mean, I'd rather be more. Well, if I was charismatic, I think being charismatic could get you some things in life. You know, could talk your way out of things or into things.
For sure.
True.
Yeah. Persuade people.
There are plenty of uncharismatic but lucky people.
Right.
Or excuse me, charismatic and unlucky people.
True. Yeah. And there's probably plenty of the other way too. Uncharismatic people who are just lucky.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to be our third bit.
That's a good dynamic. That's interesting. You're banging on that. What about you, Corey? What would you choose in this wonderful scenario?
I before I answer, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Because in this scenario, luckless, like, and I brought this up to Cale while we were writing this, and I think it defines it fairly well. So like, if your luck is, again, hard to quantify into things because luck is so abstract and we don't really know what is and isn't. But I would say that your luck for the remainder of this hour and 10 minutes we have on this show is going to be 49.51. So if you had a quarter that you had to flip twice and you needed heads at least once, it would be tails twice.
So
pretty, like, it's not the worst luck, but your odds are stacked against you.
So you happy with your choice, Mr. Charisma? Huh?
Yeah.
I'm the quartermaster. I flip the coin. Two-Face.
Yeah, it turns out the game is rigged, and that's part of being luckless, dude.
That's how it goes. You have all the charisma, but I have a double-headed coin.
Yeah,
brother.
No luck. I'm going to change the rules.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
I have no charisma. I'm going to fight dirty every time.
So you sticking with that then?
Me?
David?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick with my answer.
Okay.
Rock on.
All right. I think I'm actually going to follow Xavier on this one and be
luckless. Here we go.
Only because I drip with the charisma. I got the riz. All right. You can't see it at home because we're doing a live show. I got the glasses. I got the stash, and it does more talking for me than my actual voice does.
See, there you go.
Now you can be. I'm okay with having bad luck because I think charisma is something that you can just learn and get. I guess right. You can wear charisma.
This is true.
You can drive charisma with a BMW. No one's going to question a man balding in his mid-40s in a top-down BMW driving by himself. Okay,
no one's going to question that.
That's the most common sight I see on my daily commute. To be honest with you.
Well, that's LA, baby.
That's LA. Let's do it. Showbiz, baby.
Oh yeah. See, those people are both they're both lucky and charismatic, but they lost in other ways.
Yeah,
their souls.
You can't win them all.
No, you can't. Even with all that charisma, that's why I have luck on my side.
Right.
Y'all goofed big time.
I think it would be a very interesting trip to Las Vegas as a group of both unlucky and uncharismatic people.
Just like, we're not going to have a good time.
The charismatic people, we're going to have a good time.
Depressed. Just super sad. How was Vegas? I don't want to talk about it.
Not only would we not win at the tables, but we'd also get an offender bender on the way out. Just so we had to pay that little bit extra. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, just our luck.
It's not good.
Rolled snake eyes on that.
What's weird was you were playing poker, so I don't know how you did that.
He brought his own dice. He does every time. I tell him not to.
I just bring my own dice.
No matter what table game you're at, just throwing craps.
I'm throwing my Custodes dice to the table.
Ooh.
Yeah, there
it is.
Doesn't matter what game.
Playing with your little models.
Yeah.
You're setting up defenses while they're doing the cards. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Sir, don't touch the table.
Getting ready for the assault.
Setting up terrain on the poker tables. Oh, this is going to be a great battlefield. You're kicked out right away.
Would you guys, I guess that's kind of a good question. Would you guys even gamble? Or I guess Xavier, would you even bother buying a lottery ticket? Would you hold out?
I would hold out. Yeah. I don't think
maybe I'll hit it big this time.
If I have no luck, maybe I could try it. I just happen to get lucky. But if I have no luck, what's the point?
Once again,
because maybe
you happy with that choice, sir? More luck for me.
The only way to win is to play, Xavier.
Yeah, that's true. You'll never win if you never play.
Yeah, that's true. That's based in science.
Yeah, logic.
You'll never shine if you don't glow. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Steve Howell.
R.I.P.
He truly was the Smash Mouth.
He was.
Oh yeah,
he was an all-star.
Truly was.
Well, I'm glad you took time to
a memoriam section for
give a eulogy for Smash Mouth Steve Howell. Yeah.
Hey man,
how old was he?
56, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
His luck ran out. See, he had all that charisma, and look what happened to him now. Dead.
All that glittered was not gold.
Yeah. Mortality.
Anyways. We've gotten off track. We're going to take a break, reassess some things, and then we're going to come back from this ad break, and we're going to go right back into the topic. Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
That was just the biggest fucking derail ever.
Where do we go with that?
I don't know.
We didn't know where to go. We're like, how old is he? I'm like, oh, we're in too deep.
Hi, folks. My name is Xavier Chapman, creator and host of the Weekly Tall Talk. I would like to say thank you for listening to today's episode. If you like what you've been hearing, we would love to know what you think. After the episode, don't forget to leave a comment or reach out to us on our socials, where you can find us at the Weekly Tall Talk. We're excited to say we're working on a couple other awesome projects for this year. If you would like to know more about that or find out what else we're working on, we have a Patreon and Discord that you can subscribe to, where we can be found at Tall Tale Network. And if you have any other questions or ideas for what you'd like us to discuss on the show, please email us at talltalenetwork@gmail.com.
All right, welcome back. We have collectively gathered our shit together. We are not going to bring up Smash Mouth.
No.
Not one more time. Cale?
Never.
We're not going to bring him up again. Never. For the rest of this episode. And then we're going to go through the whole discography. But we got more questions. More questions. All right.
More questions.
So, how much of life do you folks believe is just a stroke of luck? Just simple, happen to be in the right place at the right time. You happen to talk to the right person at the right time, or just be walking at the right place. It's all rights.
How much of life do I think is luck? I don't know. That's kind of hard. It's an interesting question because I don't know if I've ever experienced. I've maybe gotten lucky. I think the only times that I've noticed that I've noticed that luck has taken effect is if I'm playing like a board game or something. And that's I roll the dice. There's the luck right there. That's all happens chance. Like, did I, there's just a chance that I would get either what I need or not. And turns out I got it. But as in life as a whole, I think some people are lucky in that aspect, happen to be in the right place at the right time, or happening to talk to somebody, a networker or something like that for a job at the right place in the right time. We hear about it like in, I guess, like based on true stories and stuff like that. And, documentaries, how people get something started. I think that's an interesting question. I would say that, there probably is some luck to that. There's some aspect of luck in life. Definitely, I would think. But I don't know how to quantify it myself. Like how I don't know how to do that. What do you think, Corey? Cale?
Well, I think you missed a golden opportunity to say that you were very lucky by finding Corey and I.
Oh, well, that's true.
Wow.
That's all the luck you've ever needed.
That's that's it. All right.
My narcissism
we
knows no bounds.
We are pretty special people. That's true.
We are. I'm a believer that luck, it's kind of hard because I think you can associate luck with many things. Luck and fate, or luck and chance. I mean, if I just choose to see everything as luck, then I feel like I've had a very lucky life. Meeting Debbie was lucky because she just happened to be working at the closest dental office to me. My videos on social media, it just happened to be, we got lucky and there was a worldwide pandemic and they had no real athletes to post. So they had to post me.
Yeah. And then Shaq was going around and he's like, wow, this dude can ball.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's lucky. But I do like to think that, I don't know if it's necessarily luck, but right place, right time is a big thing for me. So I would chalk that up to luck. Those listening at home won't know this, but we all have a mutual friend named William, and William just seems to have the luck every time we play cards or a game or even like an online game. Like, it just always works out for him. And I've always just said that he's so lucky. Like, it's just something about him. It's that like intangible quality that like he made me believe that people are lucky with how many things work out for what. Like, we were playing for money. We were playing Pasoy, this card game. And like, you tally up your score and blah, 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 blah. And we were playing for money. And then it was like, oh, William's like, okay, the only way I can win is if I get like 8 or 9 hands out of the next 10. Won all 10. I'm like, that's not like, that's got to be that. I would consider that luck. I would consider luck.
Maybe he's just really good.
He's just a shark. He's just hustling his own friends.
He's playing.
That's what he at home. He plays Pasoy by himself.
Yeah, he's like, loyalty knows no bounds, baby. just screws us all over. Damn. Come on, William. No, I think luck plays a part in life in terms of like, yeah, the happenstance, like Xavier said, the random occurrences, the, paths that are crossed just because you decide to go somewhere different that day. Yeah. You did something out of the ordinary and then it works out. And then, like you said, networking or it spirals into something else. I would like to consider that luck.
Get some luck.
Lucky I ran into you, or I'm lucky to know you, or lucky to have, been at this place, been so fortunate to be there. So for me, I think I like to think that luck plays a bigger part than just, we're just randomly going around and sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't.
Do you think that there's, how to ask, like there's luck and then there's fate?
Right.
And I don't think that you can really have both.
Right. Like, was I meant to, meet this person versus like how lucky I was that I was in the right place to meet this person? It's two same end result, but drastically different ways of looking at it. I would prefer.
Yeah. Do you think that like looking at it like that really is just a personal thing and like person to person? Because like I'm not really a believer in fate, right. But I also, at the same time, I don't know if luck exists either.
Right.
I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm just saying that scientifically minded, there's no way that I can prove that luck exists, and there's no way that I know of to prove that. Right.
There's these things in life that are intangibles. Like you said, luck, fate, happenstance, being unlucky, being these things. These are all things that you can't. You both have used this term already in the episode, but you can't quantify that.
Yeah.
That is a public perception of how this is like exactly how people see glass half full, glass half empty. It's entirely based on how you perceive things. You say, we're not fated for this. I can agree with that more. I'm less of a fate oriented person and more of a, luckily this happened.
Okay.
Or I was in the right spot. So I get what you're saying. I don't think both can exist on the same like path line. It's either this or this. But like, I feel like you're kind of a one-track mind if you believe in fate, just my opinion. Because then you're like, everything happens for a reason. It kind of gives you like, something else will come along because it's supposed to happen, versus being lucky. You acknowledge this was really lucky. Like, what are the odds that this would ever happen?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's a totally different way of looking at things.
And looking at it the way with like he said, everything happens for a reason. Right. Sometimes people, it is bad luck, or they're stricken with, it looks like it's bad luck, or they perceive it like I'm down on my luck today, or this just hasn't been a month for me, and bad things are happening, and it's some people can visualize that as, this is just, I'm having bad luck. I can't get a break. Everything happens for a reason. I just got to roll with the punches. This is the game called life. Bad things will happen to good people, and good things happen to bad people, and we really just got to roll through it day by day. Just take the punches and roll with them.
Right. Everybody's life is its own entity.
Yeah.
Do you believe that people are born with worse luck than others then?
I guess it's the way, I'm very grateful for what I have in my life, people that I know, where I am today. I could always be worse off. Like, and a lot of times when I'm thinking, man.
You certainly could. We can make it happen, buddy.
We'll take this all the way, all of it.
Don't with this.
I'll burn you to the ground.
It's like, it's like, you're having a bad day, you get inside your head and you're thinking of stuff, and it's like, sometimes it's good to take a step back and think like, man, it could always be worse. Like,
oh, dude.
But I don't know, to think, maybe people just start off a life on the wrong foot, and just the bad luck's thrown their way. But I guess, I don't know, maybe it's ultimately up to the individual to try to make the best out of a bad situation, or just try to do their best with what they have, or what life has given them. Like, here's what it is. Like, do it with you will,
right?
Type thing.
Exactly. I think, what
life just keeps handing you those bootstraps.
Right. That's how it is. But I feel like what you're saying, Corey, I would feel like you would be the term victim of circumstance comes to mind immediately. Mm-hmm. If you're born in a trust fund family where, there's always this nest egg, this is always going to be here. You have this quote unquote get out of jail free card. And then you're born to a family where the people are extremely hardworking, have not had an easy life. You're not going to have an easy life through that upbringing. And, drastically different off the bat. How lucky were you to be born into this family versus like this family in terms of, and there's pros and cons to both, I'm sure. But I feel more like being born lucky or unlucky, maybe just like Xavier said, victim of circumstance. You have no control over that. You're just dealt these cards, and it's like you said, go forth, do what you can in this limited amount of time we have here.
Yeah.
So let's keep that in our frame of reference for this next question then. Would being luckless make you more pessimistic, or do you think knowing that you're an unlucky person that you would try and work harder to succeed at things? Like, and again, this is very subjective in what's coming at you in life and things like that. But overall, let's pretend that you guys are all lucky. I'm not, but let's pretend you guys are. Mm-hmm. Would it change your life? Would you be more pessimistic, or would you be harder working, knowing that luck was not on your side?
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah. I personally, I'm thinking about it now. Like, how would I handle something like if I knew I was just flat out, I would never have any luck, and I'm always going to roll through some hard stuff. Right. Being who I am, and being in the mindset that I am now, I definitely.
You're Xavier.
I'm Xavier. Hi, I'm Xavier. I would say a lot of life would be hard for me, just because I'd be fighting myself and like getting past like depressive things or thoughts or whatever. But I think if you're luckless, you really need to try hard. At least give it more than just say, I'm just gonna wing it. Maybe I'll get this. Maybe I'll succeed here or there or whatever. If I really want that success, I really need to put in that effort to get that, to attain what I want, essentially.
Okay, so you would definitely be more hardworking. You would go more towards like techniques and basics and really hammer those home.
Yeah.
Just because like if you got those, like things can kind of manage from there.
Yeah, if I can build up like a strong base in myself about like gaining skills or finding something that I really like and do or enjoy doing. I just really would try to do my all or do the best, that I can in whatever, to try to get those results that I want. Even if I knew like I'm never going to have any luck in life, I'm going to be tripping up a lot, but I'm going to keep coming at it just as hard. Yeah.
Okay. So Cale, what about you? Are you the ultra pessimist, or are you the hard worker?
I'm going to definitely piggyback on Xavier. I feel like knowing that the punches are going to keep coming is going to make you tough. I think of like a boy named Sue. You're gonna have to be tough to get through life. I mean, it seems like life is getting tougher in general, with everything that's going on in our normal lives, with luck or not. But definitely think that with that mentality, I would share that kind of with Xavier. I know things are going to go wrong, man. I know that I'm going to have setbacks, but I'm coming back with a vengeance every time. You gotta have kind of that mentality, I guess. Head on a swivel. We keep going forward, and momentum. Just keep going forward. Yeah. It would definitely inspire me to be like, what's it going to be today? And how do I kick this problem's ass?
There you go.
That'd be hard, man. You just have to brute force every single day just to get through.
Then, I've been very fortunate in my life where this has not been the case. but there's people that experience that very same thing, like millions of people that have that, like no handouts, no help, no anything. Every day there's something new to have to conquer. Yeah, you're alone. I mean, those are the people that, like, we're talking about it as like, oh, if I had to, but like that's the reality for a lot of people. And like, hats off to you to just, get through all the crap that you get dealt and just keep going forward to try to make the most out of life. I mean, I think there are a lot of people that are pessimistic, but like there's so many people that are like, I'm not giving up. I wage war on my bad luck.
Yeah. I cry out against fate.
Exactly. I do not accept this.
No, defy it.
Right. What about you, Corey? In that sense, would you agree with that, or are you going to be the pessimist of all pessimists?
I'm not actually answering that. We're cutting dads now.
Oh. Very nice timing.
Hey, it's your boy Mason from Men of Misfortune here. We're a comedy podcast with 3 different segments. We cover anime/pop culture, true crime, and bizarre news, all while taking on some interviews. We drink, we smoke, and we know how to have a good time while making you feel like you're a part of the show. Find us anywhere you get your podcasts. And don't forget to check out our Patreon for bonus content. And for more updates, follow us on Instagram at Men of Misfortune. Remember, stay misfortunate and always listen to Mom. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
I immediately had to burp. I'm sorry.
Leave that in.
Oh, yeah. Well, folks, welcome back to the last half of the show for the weekly Tall Talk. You probably won't know this at home, but we had a little bit of a hiccup during our live show for the first half of this episode. We were recording live. We had a lot of audio issues. We had things cutting in and out for our actual show on YouTube. It was pretty wild. And it seems like our luck actually ran out as our recording just stopped halfway through.
Very nice.
So you're hearing us for part 2 of the same episode. And if I've done my job well enough, you wouldn't have known unless I told you. So it's probably dumb of me to do that. But thanks for still sticking around.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, it was wild. We still got that video up on YouTube if you want to check out the first half and see how that went. But we're going to kick off this next part of our show, and I'm going to ask you guys a very simple question. It's really simple.
Oh no. Boy. It's too complicated already.
Do you think charisma can be dangerous?
Ooh.
Xavier, I'm going to throw it to you because you chose to be charismatic.
Yes.
What do you think? Can charisma be dangerous?
I think so. I think absolutely so. I think if one can be so charismatic to maybe talk their way out of anything or into anything, maybe
a ticket or a nightclub.
Ooh, very nice.
Either or. Let's see something like that.
You're the mask.
I think we also got like, speaking of dangerous, like Ted Bundy, when he was around in the 70s, I would say.
It's like 60s, 70s.
Yeah. He's a very charismatic gentleman. Like he seemed like an upstanding, nice guy who was very educated and did all these horrible things. Like he just murdered a lot of people.
And he was dangerous.
And it was dangerous. He used that like charismatic way of talking to people and just getting to be friends with people. And then his networking was good. Like, there was a whole document. There's like probably several documentaries on him. But as far as thinking,
hey, you know what? Yeah. Even Men of Misfortune, the podcast, they have a couple episodes about Bundy that you should check out.
Oh,
Viewer
right.
at home.
Yeah. See, there we go. That'd be more. That's perfect because I think he fits this question.
Oh yeah,
definitely
the mold,
well
for sure.
Yes,
with being charismatic and dangerous. Yeah, for sure.
Well, the man, he was a serial killer. For those of you who do not know who Ted Bundy was, he's a serial killer. He was one of the more prolific serial killers in the amount of people that he hurt. But when he wasn't doing all of the crimes, he wanted to be a lawyer and a politician.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
There have just been so many people who commented over like his lifetime about how charismatic he was and how easily that he fit into the role of just being a normal everyday person, which, you know, really goes to show just why serial killers are so scary to begin with, is because of that charisma. But what do you think, Cale? Am I hitting the nail on the head with that one?
I absolutely think so. I feel that with charisma comes the ability to disarm people. You seem very unassuming sometimes, or they're so attracted to like your presence or your kind of aura around you that it is kind of a disarming thing. You put people at ease because they're either admiring you or they want to get to know you, or you're just a figure to these people. And I think like that kind of power is very dangerous, and it could sway people's mentality a little bit. If you just see a random person just by, you know, catching a glimpse of them, you don't really have a view of somebody. But if somebody's able to come up to you, they're charismatic, they know how to spark a conversation, they know how to like, you know, start that conversation and kind of like, you know, disarm you a little bit, then you've already, like in this nefarious example that Xavier brought up, it's immediately setting you up for a dangerous situation by saying, oh, well, this guy seems okay. Because you can look like just a plain old regular person, and on the inside, you know, one of the most evil people to roam this earth. So I think charisma can definitely be a bad trait as much as it could be a good trait. I think it depends on the person.
Well, and let's we can continue that too. I mean, for talking about charismatic serial killers, John Wayne Gacy was the same way.
Another politician.
I think he also wanted to be a politician. He had a very successful landscaping business, which is where he got a lot of his victims and got into contact with a lot of people. And he did that because he just knew how to read people and fit into a society in a way that served his ultimate purpose of nefariousness.
Oh, yeah. I think it goes hand in hand with being people, like a people person. So if you know how to engage with people both pleasers, men and women, like all types of classes, all type of everything, if you're just an overall broad view where people are drawn to you, you can kind of move like kind of sight unseen, or people like don't really know. As much as you're like a figure for like, let's say charisma, as much as you're noticed, you can also be unnoticed. If that makes sense. You can kind of like slip through the cracks. You can kind of like just make your way through situations, like Xavier said, talk your way out of anything or into anything. If you have that ability, then people are not going to suspect, oh, watch out for that guy. He's very dangerous. You mean that guy? No, that guy's so likable. I like that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and like, you're like, oh, well, if you like him, then I guess he's not too bad. You know, it only takes like that matter of opinion. And if you're good at, you know, I would say charisma can kind of, without putting everybody who's charismatic in a bad light, I think it could definitely be kind of hand in hand with manipulative.
Oh, for sure. Because again, like we're saying, like you with charisma, and especially if you practice being charismatic, like speaking into a mirror or public speaking, things like that, like you know how to, like you said, like to read people. It's easy for you to get into a conversation with people. And I'll throw out a phrase that I've been told that the way that I talk to people is if you're charismatic and you're also disarming, that is what I think is scary, is because people are willing to be around you because they don't know the true power of that person. Like we're talking like Ted Bundy or Gacy, like really wields it.
Yeah, because you don't know people's true intentions. And if you have a way of like putting people at ease, those true intentions, if they're bad, all the more alarming, all the more scary.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's also like, those serial killers are very charismatic, but there's also like other people who are uncharismatic and get away with it. Because like Cale, you said, like there's this thing of like being able to blend into the background. And like when I think of like Jeffrey Dahmer, that's what I think of. Like to me and everything that I know about the man, he was a charisma void. He had to get like blackout drunk to even participate in society because of how solitary that he was. He wasn't a loud person. He wasn't very fun to be around. He wasn't a very interesting person.
Seemed very dry from, we speak of that from outside looking in, like Xavier said, documentary stuff like that. But it seemed as if he was very, very dry, very matter of fact.
Yes. Yeah. So for everything just was for him.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like if you have no charisma or you're just straight lace isn't the right word, but some, like you said, a void of charisma, you would have to have these kind of vices to bring it out of you to get into these scenarios, which he got into. Obviously, it's terrible things. So he had to almost transform into a different person to be able to do his acts or to be around people or seen in a certain light to where this was acceptable, or like he would even get into these scenarios, he would have to be a different person. So him being uncharismatic just made him work harder or find other avenues to get to people versus just being charismatic. You still terrible end result, but it had to work much harder or do vices to get to that point. So either way, these people got to a different point. It's just the different manner in which they had to do it.
And that's what I really think is scary is like being approached by somebody who's ultra charismatic versus somebody who has, like we said with Dahmer, who's just a charisma void. Like, again, like you don't, if you're willing to listen to somebody who's ultra charismatic, like that puts me like on the wrong foot to begin with, just because like I don't know what to expect from this person. Why are you being so nice to me? Why are you being so vocal? Like what's the true intention here? And like, it can get a little hairy when like you work in the service industry and you got to meet a lot of people. But it's always it's weird. And I wonder, are you folks able to point out people who are like just a little bit too charismatic? Do they like kind of they weird you out a bit?
I feel that it depends on I think it's a good example right now because so many of us have maybe become more introverted because of COVID. Let's say that isolation period, stuff like that. So now people got used to being more alone or virtual stuff like this, how we're meeting right now, we're on Discord. This was like the day-to-day life for people for a number of years. So having these kind of interactions and then having a very forward or very open extroverted person in face-to-face would kind of maybe put you off. It depends on the person, but I could see how you could pick up if somebody's a little extra, like friendly in terms of like being an extrovert. Like I feel like you can get a read on people, but it's not obvious. It's not always a bad thing, but you're like, it's a little too much for me. I mean, you can pick up on that, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
So do you think that are you more apprehensive about people who are over charismatic or under charismatic? And Xavier, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Answer the damn question.
Am I more apprehensive? Maybe if somebody's like really over charismatic, I'm just like, I might think, well, they seem like a nice person. They can carry their words well and they can speak well. And they seem, maybe it comes down to like, do I think they're genuinely charismatic or if they're just like trying to be a certain way just to get something, or if this is just genuinely them, like they're genuinely this way. It's hard to tell, but I think if you spend more time with that individual, or like, let's say it's like somebody at work or something, you just every day you're seeing that person, you can, maybe if you interact with them a lot, you'd pick it up. I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem genuine, or like they're acting this way to get something from somebody or someone, to gain something from it. Or they're just genuinely a good person. They're willing to help out with projects, or be the first one to jump on something like, hey, or volunteer. I mean, like be the first one to volunteer for a project or whatever. I guess to go back to the question, I'd probably be a little bit skeptical, I would say. Maybe that might be the word. Instead of apprehensive, be skeptical. Like, are you really that way, or are you acting that way? And then, I'll take it for face value, because if it's somebody I first meeting, nothing against them. I just want to be polite to them as well. If they're polite to me, definitely deserve to be polite, have that politeness given back to them. But I'll probably be a little skeptical at first, like, oh, seems a little too goody kind of thing, Yeah. But yeah, I think that's how I would look at it.
Yeah. So if
I definitely get that.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. If you don't trust a person's true intentions, you don't know what they're up to. Xavier advises you spend more time with them, get to know them, and find out what they want from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if they're
get
serial
close.
killers.
What are they about?
See if they want to kill you or not. Just go find out for yourself.
You just be blunt about it.
Guessing game, the flip flopping.
Hey, are you going to kill me later or what?
First meeting. So are you honestly, you're pretty charismatic. You usually try to kill me or something.
You don't go around killing people.
What are we doing here?
What do you do in your free time? Man?
Now,
what brought you here?
So this is something that is a little scary to me.
Yeah.
I knew somebody who was more or less a naturally charismatic person, but there was something very revealing within the relationship that I had this person, which was like a lot of the USA knows Californians for just being quote unquote fake people.
Right.
Southern California, it's a very different vibe. Of course, wherever you're listening to or from, it's a different place. So you have your own colloquialisms, lexicon, what have you. But there was somebody I met in another state. And like I said, naturally charismatic, but there was something very revealing to how dangerous this person was to me. And it was when they said, I read magazines, like pop tabloid culture magazines, People, GQ, things like that, because they wanted to read hints into how you could better incorporate yourself into other people's lives. So basically like how to win friends and influence people by doing whatever tabloids tell you. And that's how this person ran their own life.
Oh.
And they would give gifts to people specifically so they could get closer to that person, not because they were interested in that person, but because they were interested in what that person had or what they did.
Interesting.
And that was scary to me.
Oh yeah.
That was the very, very, very eye-opening.
That is the crux of manipulation. I'm going to insert myself into your life through acting a certain way. And then let me get close to you and find out what I can get out of this situation.
Yeah, it
That's
seems
not
like
good. It's not good.
There's that kind of a relationship is more of what's benefiting the other individual versus benefiting the friend, what's going to benefit them. They're going to get they're going to give you gifts and stuff to try to win you over, but are they trying to control you and control your life to benefit and gain from them for themselves? Yeah, that's
it sounds almost like parasitic in a way. They're trying to work their way, become integral in your life until there's something that they can take or a dynamic that they can take advantage of. That is not good.
Yeah, it's worrisome when somebody admits that there's only certain people that I'm friends with because of what they have.
That's interesting to me that they would be that open about it. And that's kind of that's kind of a very personal thing to say.
Cale, that's what the killer was. Is this wasn't revealed to me until more than a year into our friendship.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I was already close to this person.
Ooh.
We're not close now. But I interacted with this person, did the same things. I had some of the same friend group, and then they admitted this to me, and I was taken aback. Because
so.
Then I thought, well, what am I giving up for this friendship to happen?
For you to fit into that equation? What was this person after, or what did they see? That's very calculated. That's very cold.
It's freaky.
Yeah,
it was freaky.
That's weird.
I never tell you guys.
I don't know if I've
after.
ever met a serial killer, but
this is kind of a weird thing.
I said, I would never tell you guys what I'm after. It's the long game, the long con.
No,
that's long con.
No, yeah.
I'm in it for the long haul, not this. A year in, try 20.
I don't just want your friendship. I want your fucking house.
Yeah,
and I'm going to get it,
dude.
I want everything.
Whatever
in the
you
house.
have, I want.
You know what else you guys are going to get?
What are we going to get?
These ads.
Hey there, this is Corey from the Weekly Tall Talk podcast. If you like what you've been hearing, please consider going to patreon.com/TallTaleNetwork and becoming one of our patrons. We'd really appreciate it, and you'd help us get out some content later this year. Thanks.
Welcome back from that ad break. I'm sure it was great because we made it.
Oh, yeah.
We're not paid for those, but we like to make them. It's fun. It's something we do here.
Come on.
It's nice.
It's for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. You know what else is for the people?
What's that?
Taxes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Death and taxes.
And death.
Shit.
Death. There it is. There it is. But questions. We got questions for the people.
Questions.
For you.
Damn,
Right.
that would make more sense.
Yeah. All right. So we had.
That's right.
Would you rather be would you rather be luckless or uncharismatic? And this question says, would you lean into being unlucky? Could this be part of your personality, like a tragic comedy? Like if you were luckless, would you just like, would that be your funny haha thing? Like, it never works out for me. Rim shot, da-dunce. Like, what do you think, Cale?
I think so. I think that would be a pretty good coping mechanism. Just expecting things to kind of go awry, even if it's just like minor inconveniences the whole time. That's kind of like a roll with the punches attitude. I feel like I would want to embrace that more than like just being like super discouraged. Like, I know something's going to go wrong. Instead, just be like, is that all you got? That all you got? And like, fight it back. Never give up. But I definitely think that could be like part of your personality where you're like, hey man, you know how it goes for me. Or it's not, you like show up to like see your friends and like, oh, what went wrong this time? And you're just like, hey man, this happened to me. They're like, yep, the classic you.
Yep.
Exactly. Classic sandwich. Eat it.
That's such a Cale move.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely think you can kind of roll into that. Like I said, kind of making a joke of it, but I definitely think that would be a coping mechanism for people who have had it rough, man. I mean, you just roll with the punches and say, hey man, you know how my life is. It never a break, when it rains, it pours type of situation.
Right.
And kind of like embracing that and rolling with it may make it a little bit easier to swallow all the crap that happens to you.
I think that I would wear a GoPro 24/7 strapped to my chest just so I have evidence of all of the unluck that happened to me like throughout my main day.
Just live stream it.
You could vlog it the whole time.
Vlog
this is my
every bad
daily
thing
life
that
of
happens.
being
Like,
unlucky.
Your total is 1095. I have 1075.
That could probably take off. You could probably get like millions and millions of like views and
Oh yeah, they would relate to that because everybody has stuff go wrong,
Oh yeah.
And if you got it
But
documented,
if you get to see somebody's like one person's life just being utter shit, I would hate watch
I feel
that.
like this is like
that sucks for this dude.
Absolute like worst
I feel better about me though.
of the Truman Show, the anti-Truman Show, where everything goes wrong instead of them making it.
Truman Show.
It's like doing the Truman Show, but making sure everything is wrong. Like for a person's whole life and just seeing how they cope with it or how they spiral, and you just keep messing with them nonstop. Oh, that probably, unfortunately. But like, the reverse Truman Show.
Yeah.
The Falseman Show. That's so bad. That's so bad. Oh, God.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. The Conman Show.
The Conman.
Ooh, I like it.
Because it's not about the individual. Everybody else is the con man.
Oh, they're all
high concept.
We are legion. We are con men.
We're gonna do it's gonna be a series. It's gonna be on FX, and it's gonna star the Muppets.
Ooh, the Muppets.
I don't know why.
The Muppets just terrorizing someone's life.
Yeah.
Is that a damn Muppet? No. You're talking crazy. Just ignore it.
You're talking crazy now.
Yeah, you're insane, dude. But what about you, Xavier? Do you think would you lean into being unlucky?
I think so. Yeah, I like what Cale was saying there. That and make this your shtick. You know, like, hey, I'm just unlucky, and this could be a tragic comedy. This could be funny. Try to make something out of it instead of like. And then you made a comment too, Corey, like about watching this person struggle, but I feel better about myself. Maybe you could have that effect.
At least this didn't happen.
You can have a net positive there. I'm showing others like how unlucky I am and making a good time out of it as best I can, and then maybe it just makes other people feel good. Who knows? But for sure. That could be something to lean into. Why wallow in it when it could be something good?
Right.
You could make it good.
That's true.
Make the best out of a bad situation.
Right.
If you can.
Try and monetize it.
There you go.
Exactly. Try to make money. If you're going to suffer, at least make some coin on it,
Right.
Yeah. I might have just lost my second finger, but at least I'm going to get $100 from TikTok.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We're going to flag you. You're going to have to need that money back, actually.
And then you're going to boost the viewer count. That makes that, so you make money.
The algorithm.
That's part of the luck, though.
God damn it.
Damn shitty algorithm.
They messed it up.
Yeah.
All right. So last question for you guys. Yeah. What do you think is more important? We've made our decisions. We've had our discussions. So in life, is luck more important or is charisma more important? Xavier, we're going to go ahead and start off with you, man.
All right, man.
What do you think?
Which is more important?
Because you chose...
Yeah, I chose to be charisma over the unlucky. It's basically unlucky. I think charisma would be more important than luck in my view, only because I feel like charisma is something you can gauge tangibly. Like you can see it in an individual, or you can get feedback from it. Whereas luck is like, I got lucky. Who knows? Like, who knows what luck is essentially, like how can you quantify that luck? But I think as far as like, I mean, luck's there. I feel like there is some luck. There's got to be some luck. Oh, yeah. Maybe some people don't believe in it. And, but I would say charisma is more important. I think it's just something you can really have more, grounded proof in, like in being charismatic or having charisma. But,
and like we said, like charisma is something that you can work on too.
Yeah.
Like you might be working on it and still be the most uncharismatic fool ever.
Right.
But at least you're working on it, and it's something that you can like get feedback on and constructive criticism on and work towards.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You can build on it and perfect it, or try to perfect it, and just exactly work on it to make it better.
So what about you, Cale, the luckless giant? Are you do you think that luck or charisma
I think Xavier's
better in life
is very right about having charisma being a tangible thing. You can gauge that by how much influence someone has over people, or the following. Social media people are charismatic. You have to be kind of to grab and hold people's attention. So kind of the proof is in the pudding with that. But for me personally, I mean, is this an overall question, or is this like my personal take on my life? How are you framing this?
I would say I would say it would have to be a personal take. What do you think would be better for you?
Honestly, I kind of touched on this on episode 1, part 1. But
part one.
but
the part I certainly don't remember because it was a week ago.
Yeah, exactly. But I touched on this, and I feel like I kind of broke the rules, as I always do with the questioning, and I kind of chalked up
classic you
luck to being part of partially right place, right time, chance, all of those kind of like intangibles rolled into one. So if I think about my life and what was more important to me, being charismatic or being quote unquote lucky with certain things, lucky to meet you, lucky to, this friendship, right? Let's say that, like, I was lucky enough to be in the same class as you, born at the same time, blah, blah, blah. And then that leads to these other friendships. I was lucky enough through you to meet Xavier, to meet these other group of friends, to have all those things. That's all by chance. That wasn't because we were young and charismatic at kindergarten age. So I think like luck and timing and right place, right time thing played a lot of factors in my life, meeting my wife, all these other things. So for me, I'd rather have that and choose to chalk things up to, I was just lucky enough to be born here or do this or do that or have the right parents or have the right circumstances. So for me, luck was more important than charisma in terms of like the formative years. I'll say it that way for me.
Nice.
Okay, so what about your adult life? Because and here's the separation that I want to make. You brought up our childhood, and for those of you who don't know, Cale and I met in kindergarten. We have a 28-year-long friendship, but we didn't choose that. Either one of us, we didn't choose to be there. We didn't choose the school that we went to or the time that we went to. That was chosen outside of us. Right. So what I'm thinking of is agency. When you turned 18, you more or less had agency over the decisions that determined the factors of every part of your life.
Right.
So do you think that luck still carries over with them, or that it had anything to do with pre-18, kindergarten through 12th?
Right. It was luck that we met, but it's also that agency to continue that friendship. We went to different schools, basically right after fifth grade. And then to continue that relationship outside of that, especially when we still had house phones, and you had to call and leave messages or hope that they answer, we had to put effort into that. So that was more building on a chance or the luck that was already there versus agency of seeking you out. And I would say as far as my adult life, right after high school, I was lucky enough to have my uncle be employed where I'm employed currently still. And I got kind of a chance to say, there's an emergency hire, go take the test, see what happens, blah, blah, blah. And that's been lucky enough for me to get that job, keep that job, maintain that, give me a certain lifestyle I have. And through that initial luck of him being right place, right time again, my benefits kicked in when I went full time. And then that's when I happened to meet Debbie through using my dental insurance that I didn't have because I was off my parents. Right. So everything kind of rolled into one thing in my mind. So in terms of luck in my adult life, I still think that there's a lot of luck involved in, the social media stuff. I don't have a huge following. I never claim that. I never do this or do that. But luck certainly.
No, I claim it for him.
Yes. But luck certainly played a part in it for me. I wasn't actively trying to get picked up by, the bigger pages that posted me or doing this. I was kind of like, this is something to pass the time. We're all stuck at home. Right. So, I mean, true. I feel
well, it helped that you were friends with Shaquille O'Neal before you started doing all the videos.
Oh, is that what happened? Is that how you're choosing to remember it?
That's exactly how I'm choosing to remember it.
Very selective word right there. Perfect. Set the tone. That's how I remember it. I don't care what actually happened. No, but I don't want to take up too much more time. But yeah, charisma though, that's just something that it just sounds nice. I'm drawn to that. That is one of those things in life, that guy's got so much charisma or she's charismatic or this or that. It's just something that even though we talked about serial killers and how they use charisma, it is just something that it's almost like an aspiration or an admiration for it. You hear that word and it just invokes this, oh man, I like it right off the bat. So to choose something over that is a little hard to swallow, but I can't get over it. The personal take on right place, right time luck for me was easy.
Okay.
Right on, dude. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. I think that definitely makes sense. I think I'm gonna have to stick with charisma.
Ooh, here we go.
I really think that you can be unlucky and be charismatic and still become the president of the United States. As long as you got people who believe in whatever it is you're trying to sell. And like I said, like we talked about, charisma is more tangible than luck. It's something that you can work on, you can get feedback for. And if you're already born, or rather, if you've made yourself to be more charismatic over the period of your life, I think that there's just going to be more options for you.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
It does
so
play.
That's kind of where I stand on that.
I agree. It plays a part. Being unlucky is something, but having luck could help you. Having charisma could help you more.
Right.
It opens more doors.
Well, I don't know, because can we say that for certain though? Because again, luck is intangible. It's like how much do we brought up this conversation in part 1, but like luck versus fate. Like how much do you just like Cale and I were fated to go to the same school because of the decisions by our parents. Right. But how much of it was luck that we both got into the same school and that our parents could afford that? Like there's so many other factors that we simply can't equate.
This is true. My only pushback on that is luck could be right place, right time, or, oh, I'm so lucky I got this job. Having charisma could be like, I'm going to go get that job. I'm going to charm these people and I'm going to get the job. I might not be the best guy, but they're going to like me enough where I get that job offer. You can, I feel if you're very charismatic, you can kind of, this is a bad choice of words, but go on the offensive, go on the attack, because you can kind of set your goals. And I feel
with like a knife.
Yeah, a knife or a club or a piece of wood or something. A gun.
Right.
But, but I definitely feel like charismatic people might have that inclination or that ability to say, I know what I'm bringing to the table. I'm going for it.
For sure.
Versus like, oh, I'm lucky enough to like, oh, this fell in my lap. Versus I'm going to go get it. I want this. I'm going to go get it.
True, but I think there's also that same like risk reward with luck. If you feel that you are lucky, then you're going to take more chances.
That's true.
I'll push it. I'll push my luck. Give me the whammy.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like you said, this is both intangible, so it's hard to gauge which. It's such a personal thing for like your life. It's so hard to gauge what the overall best thing is, because it's just like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like you said, even though you said charisma is more of a tangible thing, it's still not. It's just more of a tangible.
Yeah, it's just however much you believe in yourself, I guess.
Right. Believe in yourself, Xavier. God damn
it. Come on, man.
Come on.
Just fucking believe in yourself.
Or
just
insert that Shia LaBeouf do it scream right there.
Just do it.
Just do it. I love that video.
Well, you guys know what we got to do right now. We got to end the show.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
There it is. Yeah. We made it. Yeah. We made it to the end yet again.
It took us 10 days and 7 hours to do, but we're here. It's in one part for you. It's in 3 parts for us.
It's perfect. A good time.
Thanks for sticking around. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to find me online, you can go to Instagram, where you can find me at Corey.Andre, Corey.Ondrey. I would love to also tell you that we as a company have a weekly Tall Talk Instagram at the Weekly Tall Talk. We're posting skits. We're currently posting some stories of Cale's adventure in Argentina. Ooh. And we got a group camping trip that we're going to show there as well. So join me and us on Instagram if you have any questions or want to see what our journeys are like. Xavier, what are your socials, brother? Where can people find you?
Hunt you down.
So you can also check out our YouTube channel at the Weekly Tall Talk, and you can sub and subscribe there. That'd be awesome. Check out our live shows. That's where we have our about maybe bi-weekly live shows. We're trying to get it to a little more weekly. And then we also have our email account. You can send us questions at at talltailnetwork@gmail.com. And we also have a Patreon that you can subscribe and get a link to our Discord at patreon.com/talltailnetwork. Cale, what about you?
You can find me on Instagram at talltailcale with an underscore in between each word and a C instead of a K with Cale. And on TikTok at bearded_giant. We also have our communal TikTok at the Weekly Tall Talk over there, where we're posting our little snippets from the show and our upcoming previews and our announcements for the live shows. So tune in for those. We're getting more active on TikTok and doing it, like Corey said earlier, a little more skits, being a little more interactive. So look for us over there. Give us a follow. We'd really appreciate it. Other than that, we'll tall tail you later. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.